See, when you go into the Bible will show you that the people of this world
How you
teach
doing, brothers
deception.
and sisters? Brother Corey and Brother X, and we want to come to you with some scriptures pertaining to, it's a scripture in the Word that reads that in the days of Noah. And we want to go straight to it and be direct with you and give you the information that you need to be able to preserve yourself in a time of preparation, because it's a lot of division in the body that's causing strife among brothers and sisters. If you look at these comment pages and different videos that's going up, brothers have a problem with dealing with the word of the Most High. And if you're not dealing in the word of the Most High the way that they are, they feel that it's a reason to debate with you or fight with you or go against you. So we want to just go into some scriptures and show you a time of preparation, that's the time that we're in. And we want to build with brothers and sisters, going to the milk of keeping the commandments and understand what the Most High wants us to do. So we're going to go through the scriptures and we're going to find some information out that can better us and also better you. So the first scripture that we're going to go to is we're going to go into the book of Jasher. Now the book of Jasher is the holy records of the children of Israel, and we want to show out of the Bible that the book of Jasher was written of in the Holy Bible. The Roman Catholic Church took the records and they started wanting to prescribe to the people what they can read and what they can't read. But we're going to show you now out of the King James Version Bible that the book of Jasher was referenced out of the Bible. Let's go to Joshua 10 and 13 in the King James Version Bible and show them that Jasher was spoken of in the King James Version Bible. That's going to be Joshua chapter 10 and verse 13.
Joshua 10 verse 13. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher?
So that's a question. What this is talking about in the book of Joshua, it's saying, is this not written in the book of Jasher? Go ahead.
So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day.
So that can be found in the book of Jasher. Let's give them another precept. Go to 2 Samuel 1 and 18. That would be 2 Samuel 1 and 18.
Second Samuel chapter 1 verse 18. Also he had bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow.
So he was saying, teach the children of Judah the use of the bow. Judah is the warlike lion that goes forth and takes on the enemies for the children of Israel. Where is this written about, brother?
Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher.
It's written in the book of Jasher. So we're going to go into the book of Jasher through a couple of chapters and see what was going on during the days of Noah, during the times of Noah. Let's go to Jasher chapter 4, and we're going to start at verse 3.
Jasher chapter 4 verse 3. And Methuselah acted uprightly in the sight of God, as his father Enoch had taught him. And he likewise, during the whole of his life, taught the sons of men wisdom, knowledge, and the fear of God. and he did not turn from the good way, either to the right or to the left.
So Methuselah was upright in the sight of the Most High, and his father taught him. The thing that his father taught him was wisdom, knowledge, and the fear of the Most High, to where he was able to teach his other brothers and sisters how to do the same thing. So we want to be able to come up now and teach the children the same thing that Methuselah was teaching during the times of Noah. Go ahead.
But in the latter days of Methuselah, the sons of men turned from the Lord. They corrupted the earth. They robbed and plundered each other, and they rebelled against God, and they transgressed, and they corrupted their ways, and would not hearken to the voice of Methuselah, but rebelled against him.
This is what was happening during the time. They were rebelling. At first they were listening, then some began to rebel against the Most High, rob one another, plunder one another, transgress the laws of the Most High. This is what they were doing during that time. Same thing that is happening today. It's nothing new up under the sun, like it speaks of in the book of Ecclesiastes. Let's go to the next verse.
And the Lord was exceedingly wroth against them, and the Lord continued to destroy the seed in those days, so that there was neither sowing nor reaping in the earth. For when they sowed the ground in order that they might obtain food for their support, behold, thorns and thistles were produced, which they did not sow.
So thorns and thistles was coming out instead of the food which they did not sow. So during the time of their wickedness, they was going out trying to plant gardens and all these type of things to obtain food, but the Most High wouldn't send a lot of rain for them to get the things that they need. The same thing that's happening today. Everything that we're going to speak on is going to tie into what's happening today to bring us to the step of preparation and coming together as a body. Let's continue.
And still the sons of men did not turn from their evil ways.
So this was a sign showing them what the Most High was doing, but the sons of men still didn't turn from their evil ways. They didn't even notice that the Creator was the one that would provide the food to come out of the ground. So instead of that, they wanted to still act wicked anyway. Go ahead.
And their hands were still extended to do evil in the sight of God, and they provoked the Lord with their evil ways. And the Lord was very wroth, and repented that he had made man.
Go ahead.
And he thought to destroy and annihilate them, and he did so. In those days, when Lamech, the son of Methuselah, was 160 years old, Seth, the son of Adam, died.
Let's skip down to verse 16. Verse 12. Sorry about that. Verse 12.
And at that time the sons of men sowed the ground, and a little food was produced. Yet the sons of men did not turn from their evil ways, and they trespassed and rebelled against God.
So they still wasn't understanding that the Most High would not provide them with food. This was a sign. This was a sign that they needed to pay attention to. Because of their disobedience, food was not being provided. Skip down to verse 16.
And all the sons of men departed from the ways of the Lord in those days, as they multiplied upon the face of the earth with sons and daughters, and they taught one another their evil practices. They continued sinning against the Lord.
This is what's happening during the time of Noah. These things is what's going on. And as a matter of fact, Noah is not born yet. But when you see when Noah is brought into the earth, the sons of men was still acting wicked. So here is showing you that the sons and the daughters was being taught the evil practices. The evil practices to destroy one another. The same thing that's going on today. Go ahead.
And every man made unto himself a god, and they robbed and plundered every man his neighbor as well as his relative. And they corrupted the earth, and the earth was filled with violence.
So every man made unto himself a god. This is what was going on back then. That's the same thing going on today. Everybody got a different God that they want to serve. Everybody got a different religion that they want to be in. But we showing through the scripture that this is the same thing that was happening then. Why? Because no one was getting an understanding. No one was being shown the truth. So instead of them being shown the truth, they wanted to run off. They wanted to do something that was not pertaining to the scripture, was not pertaining to what was being told for them to do. And by that, every man robbed his own neighbor as well as their relative. If you pay attention to what's happening in society today, that's what's going on. Brothers and sisters are robbing each other and dealing foul with their own relative. But instead, we should be building. We should be building as a body. But everybody wants to rob one another. Everybody wants to murder one another. Everybody wants to debate with one another. Everybody wants to promote what they have learned and not deal with the body and deal with the commandments. They want to rebel against the Most High. They want to trespass against the Most High, but still want to live lavish. Still want to have food provided to them. Still want to keep a roof over their head. But how can you get that? How can you receive blessings when you are disrespecting the Creator? The earth is filled with violence. During their time, right as well, in this time now. It's wars everywhere. It's rioting everywhere. But who's paying attention to that? Everyone is worried about who is the America's Best Dancer, American Idol, Christmas time's coming. This is what the people are worried about. But we're going to show you that these same things that was happening back then, the Most High had brothers that had understanding and sisters that had understanding to come together and prepare because destruction was coming. Are you preparing? That's the key question. Are you preparing? Are you having brothers and sisters coming to your congregation to prepare themselves for this destruction to come? Or are you preparing the debaters? Let's read the next verse.
And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men and took their wives by force from their husbands according to their choice. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the air, and taught the mixture of animals of one species with another.
So here we go with the judges and demons and fallen angels hooking up with the daughters of that the Most High created, and these people had a certain spirit on them. They had a certain spirit to start genetic splicing things. The same thing that's happening today with your stimulus research, with cloning horses, cloning sheep, cloning chicken. All these things are happening right now today. And then people ask the question, well, where did the dinosaurs come from? This is where the dinosaurs came from. Back then, they were taking animals and mixing animals with birds. That's why you had certain reptiles of the dinosaurs that had wings and their bones being found at the top of mountains because of the flood that came. But people going in these schools believing Darwin's theory and getting in these different religions, believing in evolution when the Holy Scriptures is telling you where these things came from. But who's paying attention? Let's continue.
In order therewith to provoke the Lord.
They did that to provoke the Lord. The demons that was residing in the earth did that to provoke the Lord, because it's enmity between their seed and the Most High seed. So they wanted to destroy the Most High's creation, because the Most High's creation was created in His image and His likeness. Go ahead.
And God saw the earth, the whole earth, and it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted its ways upon earth, all men and all animals.
So men and animals were corrupt.
This national catastrophe.
We're in a state of emergency. Our politicians bootlegging, sleeping with the enemy. No one cares that our kids are being possessed by the industry.